Hey y'all, I'm Jen. Today, let's talk about goals and resolutions. We're in the new year, it's 2019. Everybody's thinking about it because it's January, and if you haven't made your resolutions already, I've got 4 tips for making your goals and resolutions and having them be things that actually stick, which they don't always do. So let's get started. Number 1, make sure your goals are SMART goals. Well, if they're SMART goals, or they're stupid goals and other kinds of goals. I mean the acronym of SMART goals. You want it to be specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. S-M-A-R-T. There you go. Specific. What do I mean by specific? You could, for example, say, I want to write more in the new year. Well, that's great, but let's make that specific. Plan out, how much do you want to write? Measurable just means that, measurable. You can have it be number of words, or you can have number of sprints. So that's something that you can actually measure and track, and you should measure it, because then you'll see what's working and what's not. Attainable. I know I love me some pie in the sky goals. I do them all the time, but they're not reachable. You might want to challenge yourself. If you set your goal at like 5,000 words a day, or you set your goal to run a 5K by the end of the month and you've not gotten off your couch in several weeks, that's probably not the best idea. Make it something that's actually attainable, because as you achieve your goals, you'll build more confidence and you can build to bigger and better goals. But you gotta start somewhere. Relevant. It should kind of have some purpose and connection to what you're wanting to do with your life. If you make a goal about losing weight and you have no real reason to, why are you making that a goal? Just because that's a really common New Year's resolution doesn't mean you need to do it. Do you actually want to lose weight? Do you need to lose weight? If not, don't do it. Make it relevant and time-bound. You can say, I want to write a novel by the end of 2019. It needs to be time-bound. You need to have a specific date that you want this to be done by. So if you want your goal to be done by, the end of January, then you need to break down those steps. But having that deadline is going to make you succeed more times than not. And sometimes you don't quite make it, and that's okay. But because you had that deadline and because you were striving for it, that means you're going to be a lot closer to it than if you said, I want to write a book someday. Let me tell you, there are a lot of people that want to write a book someday, and they never do. You will if you want to. Number 2 tip for goals. Keep them with you. This may seem like kind of a no-brainer. So I made these goals. I should know them all the time, right? Not really. I don't know about you, but I got a million things going on in my head, and I'm not keeping track of what I wanted to have for goals. What I do is I take and I write down all the goals that I have, and I keep them in my planner with me. Just have it in a place that you will see. Keep it in an Evernote on your phone so you can reference to it. Another great app to use this for is Trello, and I'm going to do a whole video on Trello because it's amazing and I have fallen in love. Have it in a place that you're going to keep seeing it daily, weekly, monthly, however often you're going to check in. But you need to keep checking in, and you need to have it in some place that's going to be around you all the time. Number 3, figure out your best length of time for goals. When we're here thinking about New Year's resolutions, we're thinking, hey, I'm making goals for the year. Well, that's great. But how many New Year's resolutions did you keep last year? I know I kept like 1 out of 15. That didn't work for me. Try different time segments to see which one will work best for you. I tried the year one. It was too long. I couldn't remember them. Even though I kept them with me, my goals changed over the year. And so a lot of them didn't become relevant anymore. They just fell out and I didn't want to do them anymore. Or I thought of something better and I wanted to replace it with that. But was then that a New Year's resolution anymore? That's too much anxiety for goals. Then I tried monthly goals. Inevitably, I would put way too many goals in a month and freak out when I didn't finish them by the end of the month. I don't want that for you. If monthly goals are too much pressure, don't do monthly goals. For 2019, I'm trying quarterly goals. This is explained on Jenna Moressi's channel, which I'll link down below. She has a list of goals that she wants to complete within 1 quarter. So by the end of those 3 months, if she's completed half of those goals, then she wins. She's been doing it for many, many years, and I was really inspired by how well those had been going for her. It gives you more time than a month and less time and fuzziness than a year. I'm still working on the whole quarterly goal thing, and I kind of overscheduled myself, and I think I've put too many on here, but if I can get half, that's the whole goal, is just to get half, then I'll be doing really good. And lastly, tip number 4, my favorite, because it makes no sense in regards to the rest of the tips. And it's one of the ones that's keeping me sane this year. Number 4 is maybe not do goals. For a video about goals, that seems kind of counterproductive, but hear me out for a second. A while back, I put a picture of this sticky note that I have in my planner all the time. It's on every week. I just keep moving along with myself. And it's my goals for myself for this year. These are my resolutions. 1 is be kind to myself, and 2 is to keep writing. Now, that seems simple. That also seems vague. It's definitely not one of the SMART goals. And it's kind of meant to be. These are goals that, for my brain, are not failable. Because if I've written a single word this year, I've kept writing. If I've done one nice thing for myself, that's technically a win. So these goals really aren't failable. And also, I can't use them to beat myself up because they're specifically designed to help me. If you're struggling with goals, this might be something that you could try. Have something that will edify you, something that will actually help you. Because tip number 5, bonus, is you have to do what works for you. Every person on the planet could tell you how to do your goals. But if it doesn't work for you, it's not going to work for you. And that's okay, because we're all different and we all need different things. So that's all I've got for you today. Let me know in the comments down below one of your goals. I'd love to hear what you have going on this year. I'll see you next time. Bye.